Okay, so I saw a trailer for a show on Netflix that's coming sometime in July called Farzar. It's a trailer, so um, not the entire show. I can't judge the. Uh, well, I'm going to judge the show based off of the trailer because that's what trailers are supposed to do. They're supposed to give you a little sneak peek of what the show or movie's gonna be like. They're supposed to do that along with advertising the movie or show itself. But this new Farzar show, I don't think it's gonna be good. Because one thing that I've noticed about it is that it looks like it was made by the same people who made Brickleberry and Paradise PD. Now, if you don't know, Brickleberry is a show where park rangers get into wacky shenanigans. There's a bunch of characters that are very unappealing in both design and personality. There's the ill-tempered leader. There's the stupid and dim-witted, but ultimately well-meaning character. There's a character that is way too over the top. There's a character that is either an old person that's a nymphomaniac or a nymphomaniac that is into old people. It's either those two. And a character that is mocked for their appearance, and that is the only joke and the only reason why they're in the show. I just basically described the characters of both those shows, and they're mostly the same. Paradise PD is just Brickleberry, but with a setting in the city. Oh, and you can't forget the animal sidekick that likes to curse and sometimes do drugs. You know, there's that. So, Farzar is made by the people who made those two shows, and I'm not looking forward to it. Like, I know that there are going to be jokes that are awful, not because they use rude language or not because they have it has gore in it, but because it's just lowbrow and not very good humor. They just make a joke, like they just poop out a joke and do nothing with it. They're characters who are written around jokes instead of jokes written around characters. It's just not gonna be good. I mean, no, I literally saw the same exact character in this trailer that I saw in Brickleberry and Paradise PD. The only difference is that he's blonde instead of ginger or brunette. That's literally pretty much the only difference. Got the same body shape, got the same head shape, still an idiot that causes more damage than actually doing good because he's an incompetent fool. And we gotta write jokes about how much of an incompetent fool he is. Car just drove by. But that's the joke. These jokes are not too deep. I saw in the trailer a guy trying to avoid a giant flying insect, and then he goes into a cave, but the cave closes. You think, oh, it's a monster, and it's another monster. Nope, it's the asshole of a giant made of rock. That's the joke. That's the only joke. It's the giant asshole of a giant mountain person. And he thought it was a cave. Ha ha. Nobody's laughing. Literally, no one is laughing at this. I heard some voices that I recognized. Like, it seems like the main villain of this show is voiced by the same guy who voices Gazpacho from Chowder and voiced a ghost from a Disney Channel show. Can't remember the name. But I remember his voice. But anyways, I'm pretty sure this show is just gonna be Paradise PD or Brickleberry, but but influenced by He-Man. That's literally what it is. This is what He-Man would be if the show was made by the same people who made Brickleberry. And that's not a very good premise. Like, this, like, adult animation, this show, and others like it, they're gonna ruin the entire definition of adult animation. Shows that are like children's shows, but with adult jokes and promiscuous imagery and all that. Like, it's not gonna be good. When you think of adult animation, or when the general person thinks of adult animation, they're gonna think of things like Family Guy, maybe American Dad, as well as possibly, if they've been on Netflix, Brickleberry or Paradise PD. Paradise PD is not what Paradise PD and what Farzar is shaping up to be is not adult animation. It is an animation made for edgy 13-year-olds who think swearing and sex jokes and gory images are going to make them appear more mature or seem more mature, when really making jokes about sex constantly and shock value humor by using gore and curse words just make it seem like it's not mature at all. Because have you ever had a conversation with an adult where they hear the word fuck or the word shit or the word hell every other word in their sentence? You ever heard them say that? No. When you talk to adults, they know how to speak, unless they are really immature. Now, when you talk to a person, to like a kid in high school who's trying to be big and tough and trying to appear like they're more mature, like they're an adult. Oh, I'm a big boy now. I'm 15. I can take on the world. They say more curse words in one sentence than an adult would say in like a month. And that's insane. This show is not going to be for adults. It's going to be for adolescents who think that those kinds of jokes are what makes them adults, when really it's not. You want to know what real adult animation is? Real adult animation is when the creators use animation to portray very complex ideas in a way that could never be explored if the show or movie was marketed towards children. Like, uh, like, Animatrix, that movie. That movie focused on the persecution of androids and the events leading up to the robot uprising that led to the Matrix. It shows themes of what makes things sentient. Can robots be legally counted as humans? As well as the themes of genocide and racism. And that is an incredible movie, because before the robots send they send a was it an envoy, a democratic envoy or something, where they try to discuss peaceful terms, and the robots they made look like humans, and then they get destroyed by the humans when all the robots wanted to do was think of a peaceful solution and to amicably stop this war between them and humans. And then later on, when the humans are negotiating terms of surrendering, they send a robot that looks nothing like a human. They know that appealing to what their inner humanity won't work. They know that by making their diplomats, that's it, their diplomats look like humans won't work for them. So they make their diplomat look nothing like a human. It honestly looks like the spy droid from Empire Strikes Back. And that is a crazy, cool thing. Another example of adult animation that is good, that would be, was that show called, Primal. Primal is a show with no dialogue. It is about a caveman who lost his family to dinosaurs. Then then a dinosaur loses her family to other dinosaurs, and the caveman and the dinosaur who lost their families then team up to kill the ones who killed their children and families. And that's how the show begins. Like, it has no dialogue, yet it says so much in just a few minutes. It explores themes of loneliness, as well as grief and bonding through trauma. It even tells a story with the animals that they kill throughout the show, like Terror Under the Blood Moon, which is, I think, the third episode of the show. They come across giant bats that pick up animals and take them to a giant spider, where the spider will suck all the life juices out of the animals and leave the rest for the bats. It's a whole mutual uh it's a whole mutualistic relationship between a giant spider and a horde of giant bats. And there's like another primitive species of ape man that's hiding under rocks and underground from the giant bats. But then Spear saves one, and then later in the episode, it repays his kindness by giving Spear his spear. By the way, the caveman's name is Spear. Even the last episode of season 1 focused on slavery and religion. They find a character named Mira who seems to be a more evolved or derived human. She's taller than Spear. She speaks. She comes from a civilization that has developed iron, it seems, because she's wearing shackles. She tells Spear through pictures that her people were enslaved by a warlord. And it seems that every night she prays to the moon. Whereas the scorpion symbol that she is branded with by her captors it seems to praise the sun because it looks both like a scorpion and a sun with rays. So if you can gather all that from a show that has almost no words of dialogue, in fact, the only time there's dialogue spoken is by Mira, the character that is more derived human. It is a great example of adult animation. Yeah, tangent aside, Farzar is bad, or it seems like it's going to be bad. Nothing new. Just Paradise PD with a He-Man paint job. So yeah, nothing new there. I'm not going to watch the show either. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to sit through that. It's going to be painful. I'd rather listen to other reviews. And, gather my opinion from it. Because I don't want to sit through that much pain. Like, I watched Brickleberry and some of Paradise PD. And, I didn't realize how bad Brickleberry was until I got older and realized I was exactly the demographic that show is made for. Stupid 13-year-olds who want to seem like they're more mature by swearing and making innuendos. Anyways, that's my review of the Farzar trailer on Netflix. Coming to you soon in the month of July. Didn't even bother what day it was going to release on. Anyways, bye.